Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ty and this is RealiTea Table Talk. I'm here to share my thoughts and opinions on the latest episodes of the reality shows we all love to watch. Now, my thoughts are my thoughts and the reviews I share are from my perspective, but I can guarantee that at least a few of us are thinking the same things while we're watching these shows. Now, if you're here for the first time, welcome to my channel. And if you're a return viewer, thank you so much for joining me again. Y'all, I am here with a whole new review for Basketball Wives, Season 12, Episode 1. And I just want to remind you all to please like, share, and subscribe. If you dig this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It's a free and easy way to support this channel and its growth. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump into this review for Basketball Wives. And y'all, I just want to say that I started off watching Basketball Wives basically from its inception. So from the very first season, when it was Evelyn, Jennifer, Royce Reed, and Susie, and Shawnee, the executive producer of this show, when they were in Miami filming for the very first season. So I've seen Tammy Rowan come on and leave off the show. Then the show moved over to LA and there was a whole new cast involving Jackie Christie, Malaysia Pargo, Brandy Maxell, and the sisters Laura and Gloria Govan. And there have been some other players that have been moved in and out throughout the seasons, but now we are back in LA and the show is just deemed Basketball Wives. There's no Basketball Wives Miami, no Basketball Wives LA, it's just Basketball Wives. So we have some returning players coming back on this season as well as some new faces. So y'all, we start off this episode with Miss Jennifer Williams, who recently got married to a man by the name of Christian Gold. And if y'all have been following the blogs, and if you watched last season, then you know that this man's business dealings are shady AF. They're hella shady. He's got some kind of investment business where people can subscribe to a lifetime membership with him that costs $1,500, so $1,500. They invest their hard-earned money with his business, and he's supposed to invest it in other things, real estate, stocks, whatever. And allegedly, he's not been investing the money. He's just pretty much been pocketing it. His business has been named as a Ponzi scheme. So basically people are investing with him and they're losing their money. They're not seeing any return. They give their money to him and it's just gone. On top of that, this man had a relationship prior to Jennifer. It was alleged that he held his ex hostage. So when we pick up in Atlanta, this is after Jennifer's wedding to Christian. They went over to Paris and got married, and he was on probation at the time. So word got around to his PO that he was leaving the country, which violates his probation. So because of the probation violation, he was sentenced to 15 days in jail. The judge allowed him some time out so that he could attend his wedding in Paris, but then he had to return to Atlanta to finish serving out his sentence. So I believe he served 2 or 3 days in jail prior to the wedding. And now he's back where Jennifer is dropping him back off at jail so he can complete the rest of his sentence. Now, Jennifer says that she's got a 30-carat ring and she just wants to be a wife. Jennifer has made some very questionable decisions regarding her partners. She was married to Eric Williams, who played in the NBA. She divorced him, and that relationship was very toxic. If y'all go back to seasons past, you can see the toxicity between these two in that marriage. Jennifer has also been rumored to have dated Cisco Rosado from Love and Hip Hop New York. He is a music producer, and he was also part of the little squad, basically with Peter Guns and Rich Dollars, basically where they were dating around, sleeping with various women. So he was a little player. Then it was a rumor that she got involved with Tim, and I cannot remember his last name, but Tim from the reality show Sweetie Pies. Tim was accused of setting up his cousin to be unalived, which ultimately happened. And so now Tim is serving a sentence in prison. She does not have the best track record when it comes to choosing her partners. And Christian, this questionable, shady character, is the man that she decided to marry. Again, she says she just wanted to be a wife. And Jennifer is accustomed to living a certain lifestyle. So in my opinion, I feel like if Jennifer can find somebody that's able to support this lifestyle, and he halfway looks good, and he proposes to her, then she's going to run with it and take it as far as she can take it. And I feel like that's what's happening here. And you know what? I have to say that for Jennifer, I really wish that she would make better decisions when it comes to her partners and maybe reevaluate what is most important to her. Because, honey, if you're just looking for somebody to fund a lifestyle, this is what you're going to get. And it's not a good look. It's not a good look whatsoever. Rather than go out and just get it yourself and choose or select a partner that can add value to your life, not take away in any shape or form or fashion, she's willing to settle with these shady characters that bring a lot of drama to her life. Girl, she did lose her mother not too long ago. And just like Kanye West, you know, with some people that lose a parent that they had a very close relationship with, it can cause them to spin out of control and go left. Now, she is not as far gone as Kanye is, thankfully. However, it doesn't seem like she's grown at all over all these last seasons that we've seen her on this show. I don't see any growth from her. I actually see some regression. And that's going to play out this season with her friendship with Evelyn Lozado. And it already has affected that friendship, as we will see. So none of the ladies from the cast attended her wedding in Paris. Her and Jackie Christie were on the outs. So basically, Jackie was not invited. Brandy Maxwell was invited, but said that she was having surgery at the time that this wedding was taking place. And Jennifer's bestie, Evelyn, did not attend because Evelyn's daughter was due to give birth at any moment. So I have to say that Jennifer, this is already starting off not good. If the people who are supposed to be there to support you are not in attendance of the wedding for whatever reason, and they are aware of these rumors and situations that are going on with your fiance, now husband, I mean, that should tell you a little something. And Evelyn said that she tried to reach out to Jennifer several times to let her know, like, hey, maybe you should rethink marrying this dude, given the situation that he's in and his life choices. But Jennifer was not open to hearing anything that anybody had to say regarding this man. She's dead set on being with him. She was dead set on marrying him. So that's where we're at now. Jennifer says that she and Evelyn are on the outs because of the way that Evelyn chose to address the situation in the public, in the blogs, you know, on various platforms. However, Jennifer, Evelyn did try to reach out to you directly and you dodged her. So what is she to do? Jennifer says that she feels guilty for having all of this exposure now on Christian because he was living a private life before he got with her, and she's on this very, very public platform. However, Christian knew good and well what he was signing up for with you. And if he did not want his business dealings or any parts of his life out there, then maybe he should have rethought that before signing contracts to be a part of this show. Because I know he was on last season with her, and I know that he had a choice. He did not have to appear on the show with her. He went ahead and signed on the documentation and said, hey, I'm cool with it. So that means that he's going to be exposed. That means that his business is going to be out there. In this first scene, basically, we see Jennifer dropping her now husband back off at jail so that he can go ahead and finish out serving the rest of his prison sentence, which I believe is either 12 or 13 days in jail. Not prison, sorry. His jail sentence, which is going to be for the next 12 to 13 days. So now we fly over to LA and we're in Jackie Christie's apartment. Jackie is the wife of Doug Christie, who formerly played on the Sacramento Kings, and now he's an interim coach for that same team. Last season, there was a little bit of tension between Evelyn Lozado and Jackie Christie. So Evelyn got a private investigator who dug up some information on Jackie and found that she had been placed in jail for a short time for prostitution, allegedly. But now Jackie has denied all of it. She says that now she and Evelyn are in a little bit of a better place, so they're moving forward. So the apartment that Jackie lives in is in the same building as her daughter, Chantel Jeffries. Chantel is the wife of NBA player Daquan Jeffries, who plays for the Charlotte Hornets over in North Carolina. Now, Chantel has moved back to LA, and she's got an older daughter from a prior relationship and a new little baby boy with Daquan. Jackie walks on down to Chantel's apartment and goes in, and we see Jackie picking up her little grandson, Noah. He is a cutie pie. This little boy is so freaking cute. And she tells him, oh, I would unalive somebody for you. Yes, I would go to jail for you. And Jackie, you're speaking to a baby. And I get the sentiment and all that, but he's a baby. He don't understand nothing of what you're saying. Chantel says the main reason for her moving back to LA was to get little Noah into baby modeling. Chantel did some modeling as a little girl and as a little teenager, and she feels like Noah has got it. He's got the it factor to make it doing baby modeling. And he is, like I said, he's so freaking cute. So I see the vision. I see where Chantel is going here. Jackie is loving the fact that Chantel lives right down the hall from her. She loves that Chantel's in the same building. She loves that Chantel is in LA. And if y'all know Jackie, if y'all have seen her in past seasons, y'all know that Jackie is very, very extra. And she's also very involved in other people's business. She involves herself in other people's business. Chantel is so much more reserved than Jackie, than her mother. But she knows her mother. She knows how her mother is, and she's wanting to set down some boundaries. Chantel tells Jackie that the reason I moved into the same building as you is so that you can kind of keep an eye on things for me when I'm back and forth between LA and Charlotte with the kids. But you are not to be coming down all times of the day and night, knocking on my door. You don't need to be in my business. So Jackie says, I don't get a key. And Chantel is like, nah. And Jackie seems genuinely stunned and hurt by this. But there have to be some healthy boundaries established. And listen here, I get it. You know, you want to maintain a good relationship with your parents, with your mother, but you don't want them all up in your business. And with the type of person that Jackie is, Like I said, she inserts herself in everybody's business. So with her, you absolutely have to set some boundaries. There has definitely been some tension between Chantel and Jackie in the past. If y'all go back and watch previous seasons of Basketball Wives, and I think it was specifically season 2, Chantel was on, I believe she spoke with Laura Govan regarding her mother, and she said that Jackie was fake. So, and Jackie does have a tendency to come off as being fake and phony in her relationships and in her friendships, as we've seen in seasons past. So there was tension between the two because of this. Chantel says that she is willing to work on the relationship with Jackie, but there absolutely has to be boundaries in place that Jackie cannot cross. Chantel says, I am not playing with Jackie Christie. Now, Jackie is wanting to introduce Chantel to some of the other ladies on the cast. Some I'm sure that she's already familiar with, but others are new. So she wants to get the introductions going, and she's putting a little something together. Chantel says that she's open to it as long as she can find a sitter. Jackie says, don't worry, we will find you a sitter. And Chantel is like, who's we? And Jackie is like, me and you, we gonna find you a sitter. So I see Jackie trying to be helpful here, but also this could potentially be the beginnings of Jackie inserting herself where she doesn't need to be and doing just a little bit too much. In the next scene, we catch up with Evelyn Lozado. So y'all, in past seasons, to me, Evelyn and Jennifer have been mean girls. They've been mean to other people on the past. They've been kind of bullies to some of the other castmates. But in some of the things that Evelyn has gone through since then, a relationship with Ocho Cinco involving some DV, a relationship with Carl Crawford that didn't last, didn't go the long run, but ended in a beautiful baby boy being born. She's experienced a lot, and I do see some growth from her. So I have to say, I'm kind of trying to dismiss some of the bullying and some of the past behaviors from Evelyn and see her in a new light. And I did. I started seeing her in a new light last season. She is now a new grandmother. Her daughter, Shanice, has given birth to a little healthy baby boy. So beautiful. I've seen pictures of him on Instagram because I do follow Evelyn. And this little baby boy has the most stunning eyes. Not only is he a cutie pie, okay, he's got some beautiful, gorgeous eyes. And he also just so happens to be the son of rapper The Game. So Evelyn is like, how did I end up becoming the grandmother to The Game's son? Well, life is funny, ain't it? In this scene, Evelyn meets up with Jackie Christie, and they are at a child's clothing store. So, like I said before, Evelyn and Jackie, they've kind of mended their relationship somewhat where they can be cordial. And so Evelyn is showing Jackie pictures of her new grandson. Again, y'all, this baby is so beautiful. He's beautiful. He's got some beautiful, gorgeous eyes. And Jackie shows Evelyn pictures of Noah, her new grandson. And again, Noah is beautiful. Y'all, the way I am about these babies, if I am in a store, Walmart, used to be Target, not anymore, but if I'm in a store and I see a baby and a baby looks at me and they start waving or they say hi or they start cooing at me, I will have a whole conversation with the baby and not even bother to look up at their parents. That's how I am about these kids. I love these babies. They are just beautiful, innocent little souls. I love them. Now, this is being filmed around Thanksgiving time. So Jackie says that Chantel is in LA, that she lives there now, and she wants to introduce Chantel to the other ladies. So she wants to put together a Friendsgiving, but she also wants to invite Jennifer Williams. And again, Jennifer and Evelyn are on the outs. In Evelyn's confessional, she basically says that she and Jennifer have not spoken, that around the time, like right before Jennifer got married to Christian, all of this stuff was coming out in the press and in the blogs about Christian's shady investment dealings with his investment company. So with all of these things coming out in the blogs, Evelyn felt like this is a sign for Jennifer to wake up and not marry this man. Evelyn tells Jackie that she's going to try to reach out to Jennifer one more time to see if she can get through to her, but Jennifer basically has shut Evelyn out. Jackie says that she feels if Jennifer sees Evelyn in person, it may melt her heart and that she may try to warm up and may be more receptive to what Evelyn has to say. But in Evelyn's confessional, she says that Jennifer chose to marry this dude and that Jennifer is dumb. And hey, I can't disagree with Evelyn here. I just can't. Facts are facts. And the truth is the truth, honey. The truth is the truth, baby, and it's going to come out. In this next scene, Jennifer meets up with Brandy Maxwell. Now, Brandy was on the show Basketball Wives LA, along with Malaysia Pargo, who was her bestie on the show. She left for a few seasons and then she returned. So she was on last season and she's back for season 12. Brandy is the wife of former retired NBA player Jason Maxwell, but they are separated right now. Brandy is asking Jennifer how married life is, and Jennifer says it's cool. But Jennifer has only been married a short amount of time because right after the wedding, she had to take Christian right on back to jail so he can complete his jail sentence. But Brandy is asking how Jennifer is after all of these rumors and allegations have come out about Christian. And Jennifer, she mentions again that she just recently lost her mother and that this whole situation has brought she and Christian's family closer. Christian's mom and aunt came to stay with her, I guess, while Christian is in jail, and they've been a great support for her. Brandy tells Jennifer, hey, as long as you're happy, I'm cool with it. Brandy says that she knows how it feels to have some humiliating things out there about your spouse in the press. So she can relate to what Jennifer is going through, and she wants to be there to be a support for Jennifer. But now Brandy asks Jennifer about her relationship with Evelyn. Now there was tension between Evelyn and Brandy in the past. Okay, they have gotten into it in past seasons. But Brandy says that Evelyn overly apologized for some statements that she made about Brandy's husband, so they were able to move past it. And in between then, Brandy and Evelyn have spoken over the phone, and Evelyn expressed that she reached out to Jennifer several times to try to, talk to her about this marriage with Christian. Jennifer says there is no relationship with she and Evelyn because of the way that Evelyn went about stating her displeasure over Jennifer and Christian getting married. But again, Evelyn's tried to reach out to you, Jennifer, several times, and you just blocked her. So again, what is she to do? Jennifer was like, well, what was I supposed to say? And Brandy says, well, we were all worried about you. And Jennifer was like, why? And girl, if you don't understand why, after all these rumors and allegations that have been put out here, if you don't understand why your friends would be concerned, well, then what type of a friend are you? Because if one of them were going through something like this and you were not concerned and you didn't try to reach out, I mean, that speaks a lot about you and your character, period. Jennifer and Evelyn have been friends for 27 years, according to Jennifer. So she's willing just to let this relationship go over this dude, Christian. And in Jennifer's confessional, she said that Brandy allowed these other single women on the cast to walk her right up out of her marriage. Jennifer, that's very rich coming from you, girl. I mean, now that you've got a 30-carat ring on your finger that was probably funded from all of these people who invested with your husband and lost their money, okay? Lost what they were trying to use to solidify their future. You're wearing it on your finger, and now you're wanting to say these single women walked you up out of your marriage. Girl, please, goodbye. Goodbye and good night with that. In this next scene, we are at Evelyn Lozada's house, and she is on a video call with Kiki. Now, Kiki is Carl Crawford's cousin. Carl Crawford and Evelyn were in a relationship, and he is the father of her son, Leo. In Evelyn's confessional, she says that Kiki reached out to her via DM and said that she had invested money with Christian Gold's investment company and lost it. She hasn't seen a dime of return, and she hasn't gotten her money back. Kiki went ahead and paid $1,500 for one of these lifetime memberships in Christian's investment company. Christian's investment company then turned around and asked Kiki to use Cash App to purchase Bitcoin. So Kiki is like, if I just gave you $1,500, why am I having to turn around and buy Bitcoin? And Kiki was not familiar with anything having to do with Bitcoin. But now I will tell you that if you are investing with someone and they ask you to turn around and buy Bitcoin, that is a red flag. Red flag, red flag, red flag that you are potentially being scammed. Okay? A legitimate investment company, a legitimate investment firm, whether doing day trading or any other kind of investments, they're not going to turn around and ask you to buy Bitcoin. That's some shady stuff. And y'all, I follow a lot of these scammer channels on YouTube, and that's one of the main things that they do. They will either ask you to buy Bitcoin, or they will ask you to send some money via Venmo, or they'll ask you to go buy gift cards. So that is a red flag that this is a scam. Now, Kiki has been seeing all of these posts about Jennifer's lifestyle and her ring and the cars that she and Christian are driving around in. Yet when Kiki tried to reach out to this investment company to ask questions, they would not answer her call. And she has not heard back from this investment company since. So if you're flaunting this fabulous, glorious lifestyle on social media, but you can't respond to one of your clients, again, red flag, red flag, red flag that this is a scam. And at this point, Kiki says she wants her $1,500 back. She has a right. Kiki absolutely has a right to getting her money back, period. In this next scene, we meet up with Brittany Renner. So Brittany was on the show season before last, and she's got a very salacious past. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But she really wasn't giving what I think the show was thinking she was going to give. She didn't bring what needed to be brought. So she did not return last season. Brittany is back this season as a Muslim. She has completely changed her life, and she has given it to Allah. So she is a Muslim, and we see her in her hijab and completely covered up, which is not usually how we're used to seeing Brittany. She is the ex-girlfriend of Dallas Mavericks player PJ Washington. Brittany says that being Muslim was not on her bingo card, but she went through some situations where she turned to God, turned to Allah, asked for guidance on how to navigate these situations, and she found it. So all praises be, y'all. All praises be. She says that this helped her mend a relationship with she and her child's father, PJ Washington, so that they could become better co-parents to their child. Now, season before last, Brittany did tell us that she was moving to North Carolina for her son. But now PJ has been traded. He's been traded to Dallas. And so that kind of opened up and made room for her to move back to LA. Brittany is meeting up with Jackie in this scene. And she says that after she left the show, that Jackie kept in contact with her and has been kind of like a mother figure to her. So she's happy to see Jackie again. So Jackie says, sit down and tell me about you converting to Islam, you becoming Muslim. And Brittany says it's really helped her out. She's been through some hard situations the last 3.5 years. She and her mother fell out. She and her mother used to be very close, and she relied on her mother for support. But her mother has allegedly stolen some money from her, and so now she and her mother are no longer speaking. So Jackie tells Brittany that Chantel is living in LA now and that she's putting together a Friendsgiving and that all the ladies are basically going to cook something and bring it to this Friendsgiving. So she invites Brittany, and then she also tells Brittany that Evelyn is going to be there. In the past seasons, well, the season before last, when Brittany was on the show, there was tension between Brittany and Evelyn. And Brittany says Evelyn is not a friend to anybody. Brittany says that she opened up to Evelyn when she was on the show before, and she thought that her and Evelyn were developing a solid friendship. But Evelyn went out in the press and said that Brittany was unprofessional and that she was not showing up to set to film. So Brittany is upset that Evelyn has made these comments about her, but she says that maybe she can sit down and get some understanding and find out why Evelyn said what she said. She wants to know the intention and understand. And if she can understand the intentions, then maybe they can move forward. And you know what? That's fair. I'm kind of the same way. Like, if I can understand the intention behind something, if I have some understanding, then that to me leads down the road for forgiveness and moving forward. Brittany says, though, that if there's no accountability taken on Evelyn's part, then there's no moving forward. She's wearing a hijab, but you know what? Brittany says that she's still down to get down with the get down. Like, she can still get these ladies together if need be. But from what I saw in seasons past, Brittany, you ain't really getting nobody together. Sorry, I'm just saying. And I don't really see you going up against Evelyn and getting her together. But I understand the sentiment. I get what you're saying. Like, don't let the hijab fool you. Anybody can get it. And I get that. I totally get that. In this next scene, we are meeting back up again with Jennifer Williams. And she is meeting up with a new cast member and friend, Ming Lee. Ming is the ex-girlfriend of Tai Young, who formerly played for the WNBA. Now, y'all, I first learned of Ming Lee several years ago. I am an avid watcher, Patreon subscriber to Joe Budden's podcast. And a few years ago, he was expanding his network and had a couple of different podcasts centered around women. One of the podcasts featured host Karen Civil. If y'all don't know about Karen Civil, go ahead and Google her and look her up. Karen is that chick, okay? And Ming Lee and Karen were on the podcast together. They were both hosts of this podcast, and they are best friends, actually more like sisters. But now Ming Lee has also been, we've also seen her in some episodes for The Real Housewives of Atlanta this season. She is friends with the girlies down there in Atlanta. And that's partially how she and Jennifer came to be friends. Jennifer is also friends with some ladies down there in Atlanta. So she and Ming are pretty cool here. Ming tells Jennifer that she moved out to LA to expand her business. And in Ming's confessional, she says that she is motivated and driven by the money, y'all. Her motivation is the green. So she has a business called Snob Life. And she says she started that business from the ground up, y'all. She was selling bundles at the back of her trunk, and now she's got a multi-million-dollar business. Go ahead, Ming. I know that is right. Show me how you hustle so I can try to get in on that hustle as well. I would love a multi-million-dollar business. You heard? Ming tells Jennifer that she was supposed to move out to LA with Tai Young, but that did not work out. So Jennifer says, "Oh, girl, I'm sorry to hear that." And Ming says that she's checking it's complicated between she and Tai. She says that Tai broke her heart, but she did not go into any detail about how Tai broke her heart. but I'm sure we'll find out later on in the season. Jennifer tells about Jackie's Friendsgiving and says that she doesn't want to go alone because she knows some of the other players that are going to be there, namely Evelyn. And so she wants Ming to come and make her own assessment of all the ladies and then let Jennifer know what she thinks. Back over at Evelyn's house, she and Brandy are cooking. And she's making some rice and beans for this Friendsgiving that Jackie is having. So Brandy is giving Evelyn the rundown about her run-in with Jennifer. Brandy tells Evelyn that Jennifer was upset about Evelyn not going directly to Jennifer with her concerns. Jennifer was like, why couldn't she just come to me? And Evelyn says, because we would have still been in the same place. And Jennifer wasn't receptive to Evelyn reaching out to her at all. So how was Evelyn supposed to come to you and you're not being open to receiving what Evelyn has to say? You're just shutting her out. So now Evelyn is giving Brandy the rundown on her conversation with Kiki, and that Kiki told her that basically Christian took her $1,500 and didn't do anything with it. So Brandy is kind of taken aback by this news and is like, oh, I gotta have a seat. Brandy is like, how is this Friendsgiving gonna be? Like, how is all this gonna work out with all this that's going on? And Evelyn says, well, I don't know how friendly it's going to be. So now in this next scene, it is Jackie's Friendsgiving. And she has rented this fabulous house in the hills. The first person to arrive is Evelyn with her beans and rice, y'all. Y'all, that just made me hungry. That made me hungry. I want some beans and rice right now. I need some El Pollo Loco right now. Okay. Now, y'all, Jackie tells us and tells Evelyn that she made this fantastic turkey for the Friendsgiving. And what we're seeing in like these little images that are being displayed is this beautiful golden brown, just succulent looking turkey. But then we see what Jackie's actual turkey looks like. And child, it's giving salmonella. It's giving, I wouldn't touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. It's giving just taken out the package and thrown in a tinfoil pan and served up with some celery sticks. It's given not been in the oven longer than 10 minutes. Y'all, it's given do not eat this, food poisoning ahead. Jackie says, oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? And Evelyn's trying to be polite. She's like, yeah, like you didn't put any stuffing in it? Thank God she didn't put any stuffing in that thing. That thing looks dry, but undercooked at the same time. So how you do that? Next to arrive is Chantel. And she says that she is open to meeting the other ladies, but she's a little bit guarded because she's seen how the ladies have been with her mom in past seasons. So rightfully so, I understand the hesitation, but I'm glad that she's open. Next to arrive is Brittany Renner. And y'all, her anxiety, she says, is on a 30. Her anxiety is through the roof because she knows that Evelyn is going to be here and she doesn't really know how she's going to react to Evelyn and how all this is going to go down with Evelyn. So Jackie brings her in. All the ladies go outside. Jackie introduces her to her daughter, Chantel, and says, we're all just sitting out here having some drinks until the other ladies arrive. Chantel says that she is happy to be there, but she's kind of out of her element because she doesn't normally do this. And Brittany says, well, I don't normally sit with people I don't like. She kind of says that under her breath, but everybody heard it. So at this point, Brittany kind of gets up, walks up the stairs, and goes back inside. And Evelyn, she says, I know that was directed towards me. So Jackie says, let me go on inside. And Chantel is like, no, don't do it. Like, you're just going to cause more drama. You're going to go in here, question this girl, and then things are really going to go left. And Jackie's like, no, I've been having some drinks and, I need something to eat. I'm going to just go inside. So Jackie goes inside and she tells Brittany, listen, you have every right to feel how you feel. If you got something to say, go ahead and address it with Evelyn and you have my full support. Y'all, we've seen what Jackie's full support looks like in the past, and I wouldn't bank on that. Brittany, girl, you're pretty much out here by yourself. Jackie is able to talk Brittany into going back out. So they go back out. It's kind of quiet. And Chantel is like, can y'all talk it out? Because the tension out here is so thick you can cut it with a steak knife. And child, I would say you can cut that thing with a plastic butter knife, okay? The tension out there is very thick. Now, Brittany is in her Muslim bag here, y'all. She says that she wants to make Allah proud because basically the energy that you put out there, you're going to get back. That's basically what she was saying. Brittany tells Evelyn that she was hurt by things that she was saying in interviews. And Evelyn says, well, what did I say? And Brittany says, you said that I was unprofessional and some other things. And Evelyn is like, like she's not backing down from what she said, but she's acknowledging what Brittany is saying. Brittany says she's not trying to have an issue with Evelyn because she's always bigged up her. And so Evelyn says, are you done? And child, this is where Brittany was about to go left. And she was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. But then Evelyn interrupts and she says, no, I'm asking if you're done because I'm really just wanting to find out if you're done speaking so that I can say my piece. Brittany says that Evelyn is being condescending, and Evelyn is like, no, I'm really not being condescending. But by the time I had said what I said, you had already done an interview with Revolt where you said me and everybody else on the cast were miserable bitches. And Evelyn is like, how did I get grouped in with that? Because I did think that you and I were cool. Evelyn said there's nothing that happened between you and I directly. So, I apologize for hurting you with what I said. And hopefully we can just kind of move forward from here and work on building the friendship again. So at this point, Brittany's body language immediately changes. She's not tensed up anymore. You can see her shoulders relax a little bit. And she says, wow, I was really not expecting an apology. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, we can go ahead and move forward. So now, y'all, everything is peace and zen between these two at least. The next lady to arrive is Brandy Maxwell. But then shortly after that, both Ming Lee and Jennifer arrive and they rode together. So now Jackie introduces herself to Ming. And in Evelyn's confessional, she says that she's kind of worried about how this thing is going to go down between she and Jennifer. She hopes that they can have a conversation. She wants to bring some things to Jennifer's light. And she hopes that Jennifer is receptive. In case she needed receipts, Evelyn did bring some receipts. So after this, Jackie brings the ladies over to the table where the food is and shows them her turkey that she so proudly prepared for 15 minutes. Y'all, she shows them this turkey. She tells everybody, listen, I want everybody to try this. I understand if you don't eat turkey, but I at least want everybody to have a bite. So Evelyn says, are you going to eat some? And Jackie says, well, I don't eat meat. What in the ever-loving hell, Jackie Christie? You prepared this turkey, this raw, undercooked, it's giving salmonella, listeria, and everything else turkey, and you want everybody to take a bite, but you don't even eat meat. Since when? Since when? And when Jackie cuts into this turkey, y'all, it's still pink. It's red. She didn't cut into the foil, so now the pan juices or the frost that didn't frost it in this aluminum pan is dripping all over the table. It's a whole hot ass mess. Jennifer says the turkey looks like it was on life support. Y'all, I say it looks like the turkey was alive 2 minutes ago. The turkey was just running around the yard, y'all. Somebody just came and got that turkey and defeathered it and put it in this foil pan and put some celery in there and said, bon appetit. So y'all, I guess they just all gonna be eating sides. I don't know. But so now everybody is seated at this table and Jackie says, Jennifer and Evelyn, I don't want to push anything, but now is a as good as time as any to go ahead and get into it. So y'all, I guess there was some audio that was leaked about Evelyn saying some things about Christian. And Evelyn tells Jennifer, I want to explain to you what that was all about because you never gave me the opportunity to tell you. But I'm telling you right now that that was me talking to an investigator about Christian. And what I said, I stand by. But I never spoke ill of you or Christian to any of the other ladies or to anybody else. So that's what that was about. And Jennifer is sitting there with a blank stare on her face. She's sitting there just like everything is just going in one ear and out of the other. So then Jennifer says that there are a lot of things out here that are false. And we're not about to sit here and make it about Christian. So Evelyn says, well, it is about Christian. And let me tell you what he did to Carl's cousin. Carl's cousin invested money with him and she wants her $1,500 back. This man took her money. Kiki wants her money back. So now all the other ladies are sitting around looking because other than Brandy, nobody else knew this little tidbit of information. So Jennifer's sitting up here denying everything. And Evelyn is like, well, let me give you some context. So Evelyn pulls out her receipts and Jennifer says, you ain't got to show me that. I don't want to see that. And Evelyn is like, well, basically, this is proof. Like, you don't care. You don't care about the other people that were being scammed, the victims that are being scammed out of their retirement money, the people on disability that are being scammed out of their disability money. You don't care about any of that. So Jennifer's comeback was, Christian doesn't even know that lady. Get the hell out of here, Jennifer. Listen, I feel like you are willing to turn a blind eye to anything regarding Christian as long as he's able to put 30 carats on your finger, no matter where it came from. If it's coming out of the pockets and out of the bank accounts of hard-working people, of people that are on disability, people that are using a little bit of their retirement savings to try to expand what they get because Social Security ain't paying them nothing, you don't care. You will gladly just close your eyes to the BS. You're going to close your eyes to it, act like it doesn't exist, as long as you're able to drive around in a Rolls Royce with a ring on your finger. And it's giving Erica Jane. It's giving Erica Jane from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, who was gladly willing to do the same thing with her low down, dirty ex-husband, Tom Girardi, who took the settlement money from all these people from the plane crash, okay, didn't give any of the families their money, but Erica was cool with it because she had this expensive watch and her little entertainment career was being funded by this money. That's what it's giving. Just go ahead and call Jennifer Williams the new Erica Jane. Evelyn tells Jennifer, like, I get that that's your man, but sometimes your man will bring you down. So Jennifer says that he is a day trader, and people have to understand that when you're working with a day trader, when you're working in this type of investment, that some days are good and some days are bad. Sometimes you're going to win money. Sometimes you're going to lose money. At this point, Jennifer says she doesn't want to keep talking about her man, her man, her man. Well, I'm sure you don't now. We didn't hear that last season when all you could talk about was your man, your man, your man. And now you're calling people obsessed. You're saying that they're obsessed with your man. Girl, nobody is obsessed with this fool but you. Everybody else is concerned that innocent people's money is being stolen by your man, your man, your man, allegedly. Evelyn says, a felon can be a day trader. And Jennifer says, yes, they can. So Evelyn was like, well, who gave you this information, Jennifer? Because you're way too smart for this. You know better. And listen, you don't have to be streetwise. You don't have to be street smart. You don't have to be educated. All you need is a little bit of common sense. And I am so sorry. But if Jennifer has any common sense, it's not showing up here. In Evelyn's confessional, she says that Christian has done a really great job of isolating Jennifer and that she's afraid for her. So then Brandy looks down at Jennifer and says, Jennifer, how do you feel about this? And Jennifer's like, I don't feel any way about it. So Brandy is like, well, do you care? And Jennifer looks right at Brandy and she says, Brandy, I don't care how you try to ask this question. I'm not talking about it. And Brandy is shocked that her friend Jennifer would come at her with that type of a response. So then Evelyn looks down at Brandy and she says, I'm concerned for Jennifer too because of what is being said about her, about how her lifestyle is being funded with these people's stolen money. So at this point, Jennifer says, I'm not sitting here for this. I'm going to get up and leave. And Evelyn is like, well, go. And that's why you're in the situation that you're in right now. So when Jennifer gets up to walk away, she goes on up the stairs like she's walking out. And Chantel is like, I'm really confused here. Like, I don't know what's going on. And Evelyn starts to tell her, like, it's kind of like a Ponzi scheme. So Jennifer overhears this, and over the stairwell, she says, stop talking about my man. Stop talking about us. And Evelyn is like, tell your man to stop stealing money. Girl, I know that is right. So Jackie tells Evelyn, like, listen, I know that you love Jennifer, but at the end of the day, Jennifer's going to pick her man. And Evelyn says, I love Jennifer enough to tell her this to her face. She's wanting to sit up here and co-sign this stuff. I'm going to tell her to her face. And that's what an actual friend will do. So y'all, Jennifer leaves and Jackie's sitting there at the table being extra, talking about, I'm going to pray for this. This last scene, Christian is out of jail and he done made his way to LA. So Jennifer is at the airport picking him up. So Jennifer is giving Christian the rundown about what happened at Friendsgiving and telling Christian about what Evelyn said about Kiki, Carl Crawford's cousin, and about the money that was that Kiki is alleging Christian took from her and didn't give back. So Christian is saying, $1,500, what am I going to do with that? For the lifestyle that we live, $1,500 is a dinner. But no, Christian, when you take $1,500 from multiple people and add it up, I mean, don't tell me you're just taking $1,500 from one person and that's that. That's not what's going on here, allegedly. Jennifer says that Evelyn had the nerve to say that felons shouldn't be allowed to trade. Then Christian says, well, felons shouldn't be president. Well, listen, two things can be true here, Christian. You're right. Felons should not be allowed to be president, and felons should not be allowed to deal with people's money. Now, Jennifer says that Evelyn is in everybody's business, but Evelyn needs to chill and sit back because the streets are talking. And if Jennifer wanted to be that girl, she could pull out receipts on Evelyn. Well, I say, child, pull him out. If you got something to say, Jennifer, if you have receipts on Evelyn, then go ahead and pull him out. Otherwise, sit there and be quiet. So Jennifer says that everybody thinks that she's this classy person that doesn't really, do anything or say anything, but she's not like that. Stop messing with her. Stop talking about her. Or basically, you're going to see. And Christian is like, don't play with my wife. And y'all, that's the end of the episode. So, this first episode here for this season of Basketball Wives, I knew that some of this stuff was going to be addressed just because it's been out here in the media. And so it's got to be talked about. Like, it's got to be addressed. But I'm anxious to see how these relationships with some of the other ladies, with some of the other cast, how they're going to shift, because I know there's going to be a shift. And in the preview that we see for some of the upcoming episodes, it looks like Jackie's trying to get out her own daughter. I hope that's not true. I hope that was just editing for the previews for these upcoming episodes. And I hope that does not happen. But we know that there's been tension between these two in the past. So y'all, we shall see. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Let me know what you thought about how Evelyn, went hard for Kiki and how Evelyn addressed Jennifer. And if you thought that was right, let me know if you thought that Jennifer is not wanting to face reality. And if she's approaching this situation wrong, y'all, let me know what you thought about that turkey, because again, to me, it's giving salmonella. Throw the whole thing away. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you've not done so already. Turn that notification bell on so that you know when my next review drops. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and don't forget to tell someone that you love them today, even if you only tell yourself. Love y'all. Peace.